Why are you guys still here? Could you not get home because you couldn't see in the dark? I'm sorry, man. I feel bad. I'm glad you're still here, but I think I have something that could help you. Let's see if we can fix it. Welcome to the project, guys. Today's gonna be a really fun one. Night vision. I mean, you've seen the title. So let's see if we can fix this. I have a friend and we were just chatting and whatnot, and he mentioned that he had night vision that he thinks the tube is bad in. And I said, you know, let's look at it. I have looked at it a little bit. I think I know what the issue is. So I'm excited. I've never seen night vision myself, but this should be pretty fun. So let's go to the bench, the indoor bench, and start digging into this, because I'm excited about this. Let's go. So we have some night vision here. Got a little case. So this is Night Owl Optics. This specific one is the NOL T3. This is Gen 1 night vision, you know, so we'll see how well it works. But a lot of the Night Owl Optics work basically the same way. You push the power button and the green light will come on. And then you also have this IR LED, so here. So if you didn't know, night vision, you do need photons, you do need light in order to have it work. It's not like a darkest room you can still see. No, you need some light for it to work. All it does is it's just really good at like amplifying that light. So that's really great. As with any amplifier, like you got to be careful about how much light, you know, because like let's say you can only go to 5,000 whatever. If you put in 5,000 and you amplify it more, then you're going to blow it out. So you got to be careful about how much light is in here. Like during the day, definitely don't take this off. If you can see, there's just like the tiniest hole in there, and that is to like protect it. I don't know if that's like you can run this during the daytime, but that is there to protect it, and you can kind of use it with that on there. But the other thing too is that it only matters a ton when you are powering it up. So you just want to make sure you don't have too much light coming in when you power it up. There's no gain or anything on here, and basically you have a screen here. If you like a really, really rough down and dirty like explanation of night vision is essentially the few bit of photons come in here and they hit like a really thin metal surface, conductive surface, and when they hit that, they kind of knock an electron off the other side. Now that it's an electron, what we do is we actually accelerate it, because if you didn't know, like kind of like magnets, but anyways, an electron, if you have a positively charged thing, electrons will shoot towards it, you know, like lightning trying to get down to the ground kind of a thing. So in the electron, then we have like a really high voltage. We're talking like 5 to 6, 7,000 volts. And when the electron gets knocked off, it goes straight through it, and it's actually a mesh. So some hit the mesh, but a lot of photons will just go straight through the mesh and then hit a phosphorus screen. And so essentially what you're doing is and like the phosphorus screen lights up quite a bit with like when electrons hit it. And so that's why, you know, you get color coming in, but then you're only looking at the phosphorus screen. And we can actually look at that there. And that's how you amplify it, is like you just have that really high voltage, and yeah. Does that make sense? Turn into electrons, electrons hit phosphorus screen, you look at the phosphorus screen. Simple. But it is interesting because that means that, you know, 3 volts, because these are AA batteries, so 2 1.5 volts, 3 volts probably. You're getting up to like 5 or 6,000 volts. That's pretty good. So with this, I've done some digging into it a little bit, and this is what I found. So let's take off this battery cover here. And I mean, there's some corrosion in there on the terminals. But what I wanted to do is I was going to see if they're actually connected, because typically in these, like, they're not going to make 2 AA's in parallel, but they're going to probably make them in series, meaning one of these, or a pair of these terminals, is actually going to be connected. So if we come in here and do a continuity check, one of the first things is I just check. See, those aren't connected and those aren't connected. Yeah, so none of the terminals are connected directly, and so that makes me a little suspicious of what might be the problem. That's kind of one of the things we want to check first. But with that, we can come in here, and again, with the cover on, and we can just see, yep, getting nothing at all. Night vision's kind of cool. I've looked into it a little bit, so it's a little scary opening this up, but one thing is that here into the housing, it is like gaps up above and below, and so I'm not worried about this being like nitrogen purged or waterproof or anything like that. Like, definitely not waterproof. And I know my batteries are good, so from there, it's just trying to take it apart. I guess let's take this off. I did find this out, so both the objective lens and the ocular lens, they come off. So if I just twist this, then there we go. And you can see the white phosphorus screen down in there. And honestly, everything looks decently clean. So I'm gonna put this back on, so that way we don't get that all dirty. So that brings us to this side. And the way we take this off, again, I think it's just twisting it. Yep, sure enough. So when I was first doing this, I was a little worried about doing this. And I'm probably gonna put the lens down, so that way we don't get any dirt in there. But yeah, there is the front, the photon acceptor or whatever they call it. There's the front of the tube down in there. And it looks like we could maybe clean that off with a rag a little bit, but all right. So next, again, I did look at this a little bit and we gotta take this off, which this is the IR illuminator right there. So something small enough to turn that with, because I don't actually have the right tool. So here we go. Yep, there we go. There we go. So yeah, that's the IR illuminator, and it's just an LED, and it looks like it's kind of got the same terminals of battery, like one's here and the other one's there. So if that's not working, then we can look at that. So obviously this whole shell splits in half here, and I really think it's probably these guys right here that let that go. So let's pull those off. All right, so we got this apart here, and essentially you've got these, all of these are just white wires to connect everything. So we've got 2 for the battery, 2 for the illuminator, and then we've got some for the LEDs up front here, and then also the buttons back there. I will say, from what I know about this stuff, we've got our little transformer here and a MOSFET to switch it. You got some caps and stuff, and then there should be, a lot of times they'll use like a diode capacitor voltage step up circuit in order to actually get it to the voltages it need. But I did see this right here. So look, it's like they fixed a wire here and then they tried to cover it with this little bit of electrical tape. I do not like that. We should probably replace that with heat shrink. But here I think is the main culprit. Look at that. You see that right there? One of the battery terminal wires is totally meant to be connected and it's not. So we've got battery terminal here, it comes over and it should be connected there. So we need to solder that up and then fix the other thing over there. So let me fire up my... So we have the battery terminal there is now connected, and we heat shrunk that little piece right there. So now we can carefully try to kind of shove this all back in there without pinching anything too much. So now we should be able to put this back together. I might clean that with a microfiber real quick, and then we should be good to go. So now that we got that together, let's see. So first of all, we can just do the test we did before. Ow. And let's see. Yeah, I think. Yep, so these are connected now. I'm going to clean up the terminals real quick, just to make sure we've got a good connection there. Now the moment of truth. I'm gonna put a cloth over just to make sure. And let's see. Uh-oh. Did I put these in right? I did something wrong. Let's take it back apart. So found the second issue. So the second issue is that the outside of this guy and this terminal for the battery, which I think is the negative terminal. So this is ground, and you can tell we have a bunch of wires in here. Well, the actual ground from the battery is like hardly touching all of these wires. And so what I need to do is I'll probably just make a little bridge from this over to here and then get all those wires to actually connect. They wanted to connect to the tab right here, but I think it's just like touching it. It's not actually soldered to it. So we need to fix that terminal as well. So not only did the bridge between the batteries, but the actual negative terminal as well. Okay, here's the moment of truth. Is it gonna go on? It did. Let's see. Yeah. It's working. Now I don't think the IR LED is not working, so we're gonna have to troubleshoot that another night. But yeah, it's working. So before we kind of show you how this one is working, which we did get it all working, though the IR LED button itself might be getting a little bad, but seeing how fun this was, I had to get some of my own. So, in the mail, I got this. So this is the exact same model, the, what is it, NOLT3. So I got the same one. I got it on eBay. I mean, it was like 40 or 50 bucks. And that's a far cry from $330. Granted, I don't know how old this one is, but it does feel nicer. So we'll open that one up in a second. But I also got this. And this one's a lot bigger. We'll show you what's in there in a minute. So if we open this up, Big Five Sporting Goods, I guess you could get these at Big Five. They actually came with some stuff, which is kind of fun. So I think it's interesting that they say, you know, see in complete darkness, which I guess that's true with the integrated infrared LED, but it's not like, you know, any situation you're going to be able to see in. And also, I don't know how much I believe these images as seen on phosphorus screen. Yeah, those aren't really... Those aren't really the images. Also, this side is just completely blue, because I guess they wanted to, like, have it marketable for marine, but I mean... Yeah, like every other is like green phosphor, but this one's just like straight up blue, being like, oh, boating. You know, who's going to be using their non-waterproof night vision to see boating? But camping, I think honestly camping is going to be the best use of this. I will say here, it says 2003, so maybe this is an 03, I don't know. So this owner's manual is actually really interesting because in here, they do kind of explain how it all works. Through right here, this is between these two, in the lighted and in the dark, really kind of one tidbit of information that was really important in here is essentially what you do to focus these is the objective lens you turn all the way in, and then with the pinhole cover on, this is always going to be in focus. Like the focal length of this is very high, so you're not going to get any bokeh or anything. And so with that turned in and the pinhole on, the thing that'll determine the focus is your ocular lens, the one that you look through. And so in a lighted environment, you turn it on, and you adjust this to get the focus on the phosphor screen perfect. And this is for your vision, so if you have glasses and whatnot, that'll be specific to you. And then this is when it's dark and you take the pinhole cover off, then you adjust this to be in focus at different lengths. With that being said, I wish there was some way to kind of set this, because if you have normal vision, then, you know, a little locking screw would be great, because then you'd never have to worry about redoing that to see the phosphorus screen in focus, and then you could just worry about this whenever you turn it on. So I've been doing it wrong. I've just been messing with both the knobs and trying to get it in focus and trying to figure that out. But yeah, pinhole on, focus that. Pinhole off, then focus this. So this is the one that I got, and obviously the case is different. This is more of like a purse kind of pouch thing, and this one is, I don't know, more like a dump pouch or something. And there you go. So mine, I mean, I still have the wrapping on there. I don't know how old this one is. I think it's pretty dang old. But this one, like, the finish is definitely more matted, and it does feel a bit nicer. But anyways, and this one does work as well. I think, yeah, I've got batteries in there, and yeah. So this one is working great. Fixed that one, now I have my own. It's kind of fun, but I couldn't help myself, so I got this one too. And this one is dual tubes, so binoculars, not a monocular. And this one, I honestly think this one's a bit older, maybe closer to this guy. And one of the things that kind of sucks is that they have a bit of like this blue coating on here. Maybe they didn't do it right or whatnot, but in some areas on this guy, it's getting a little like sticky and grimy. I don't know if you guys can see. And I've seen other people with these say like, oh, they had to like basically sand the whole case to get rid of it. And the other thing that kind of sucks about this guy is that you have to focus either eye, both on this side and on that side. So that kind of sucks. But that's okay. Honestly, for the deal that I got these at, it's not bad. But they don't run on double A's. They run on a single 123A right there. Yeah, a little bit of corrosion on things, but honestly, this is in pretty good state. The thing that I really like about this is that it's not like one tube split into two eyes. It's two tubes. I mean, that's pretty obvious. You've got one on that side, one on this side. They both have their own focus. Like, it's kind of cool. It's basically like if you took two of these guys and shoved them into one. And the other thing that's interesting about this guy is the operation is different. So with this guy, when you push it, it's momentary, and it basically puts power into the high voltage power supply, jumps it up, and I think it's on the high voltage side that you've got some caps and stuff in there, and it like charges up the tube. And then the tube can run on whatever you charge it to for, you know, a few minutes kind of a thing. And that's interesting because with this, it's like your gain control is like through your power button. So if you like do it really quick, then like your gain is pretty low. And as you hold it longer and longer, it'll kind of like taper off. And then it's like you've got like the highest gain kind of a thing. And so that's how you get gain control on this guy. But this one's different. So when I push the button, the green light comes on, and now it's like on. See? Both of them are on in there. And then when I come off, you know, it still is charged up. The tubes are still on, but it's like the gain control is like the same on that. So I could actually turn it on and leave it. And these ones, it's interesting, when I get to like the highest charge level, you start to see more noise come through. It's almost like it's like overcharging the tube or something, because you're getting like stray electrons just shooting through, which is interesting. It's like high voltage noise. But this one with the gain control, oh yeah, and see, look, IR LED button. If I push it on, nope, I have to turn it on, and then I can turn on the IR LED. There's also this LED on this side, which I have no idea what that means. Maybe it's like they do have separate power supply circuits, and so this is the power supply circuit for this side. Anyways, binoculars, it's just going to be great. Having both eyes be able to see the same information, it's going to be fiddly trying to get these in focus and whatnot, but like this is the way to go. I mean, I know this is smaller, cheaper, easy to do, but binoculars, I mean, your brain processes the information so much easier. So even though it'll be fiddly, it'll be fun. Fiddly fun. Also, it has a tripod mount, so let's see. Except let's see if this works. Yeah. So this is how I'm gonna show you guys. I'm gonna have you guys look through this tube and to kind of give you a rough estimate. And again, this is all like Gen 1, kind of the same technologies. I will say, this guy, I don't see any obvious spots. This one, there's like one spot, but it's not like in the center of the tube, and so it's not that bad. And then this guy is also not that bad. And when I was looking at all of these, I was worried that maybe this older tube wasn't gonna perform. It was gonna be like, I would jump to this and this would be a lot better. But no, honestly, this old tube is working about the same as this one that looks like hardly used at all. And same with these are about the same. I think it's just Gen 1 technology. The amount of gain that you get from the light coming in, because again, you're amplifying light, it's just not that much. I mean, with the IR LED, sure, you can see a lot better than your natural vision, but just straight up like natural light from like starlight and whatnot, Gen 1 doesn't help a ton. I mean, it'll probably be hard to like come across on camera like this, but with my own night vision, you know, if I let myself acclimate to it, I can see a bit better with this, especially in shadows and whatnot. But generally, it's not like suddenly everything is like as bright as day. It's like, it's kind of better. Anyways, I need to actually take these camping and try them out and whatnot. But just from messing around outside and everything, I mean, that's my general consensus. It's fun. It's kind of cool. Honestly, I love this technology. The high voltage is kind of fun, but it's Gen 1 is kind of like a toy, which is probably why they sell this for like camping and stuff, because you're not going to be doing a lot of hard work through these. Let me get this set up and see if we can go out in the dark and have some fun. All right, so now we're outside. I'm going to keep my voice down because our neighbors are really close, but I think I've got this set up pretty good. I think you guys can get a good idea of kind of what it looks like. And with my natural vision, especially if I'm out here for a bit, it's about what I can see, except I will say like underneath the truck and like the tires and like that kind of like shadow area, that is a lot harder for me to see with my natural vision. So underneath infrared or underneath night vision, yeah, it does pretty well. So yeah, I honestly, like, this isn't too bad. I like it. You know, if someone was like hiding underneath my truck, I'd probably miss them, but with the night vision, it's pretty good. If I come in here and look through the old monocular, now that I've like spent some time looking through all three of these at once, I think the old monocular definitely does have more noise in the tube. Like looking at this same scene, it's not as clear. There's definite noise in there versus the monocular that I just got. It looks a lot cleaner. And I think the binoculars, oh, dang it. And the binoculars, I mean, I don't know, the binoculars aren't the best image, but having two eyes with the images, I mean, it does help things so much. They're so bulky, but they definitely help. So with the IR illuminator, if I click it on here on the binoculars, you can see that's what it does. And I think this is like 100 feet. Nah, this is probably more like 80 feet away. And I can click it once, come on, click it again, comes off. Then the new monocular, if I sit next to you guys over here, and then I click mine on, you guys see that? There's the monocular coming through. So the IR LED definitely does help, because then I can be like, ooh, what's under the tire? What's under there? And just for kicks and giggles, here's the old monocular. Yep, you guys see in there? Yeah, they're about the same. And then back to the binoculars. Yeah. I will say though, with the new monocular that I got, or newer, I think it might hold its charge longer. Because with the momentary switch, you know, you charge it up and then you get to view it and like let it off, that kind of thing. And then it just slowly dissipates the power that you put into it until it like turns off and gets dark. So like here, if I turn off these binoculars, we can kind of watch that happen. So there we go, binoculars are now off. We can kind of let them discharge and then yeah, turn it on there. Okay, so now you can see it's pretty dark, you can't see much. So if I turn it on, you can see what it looks like there. Yep. Pretty quick back up to brightness, but it does take, you know, quite a bit. So here's the thing. You don't necessarily want to use the IR LED because sure, humans can't see it as much, you know, if I'm sitting here with this IR LED, but if you're looking at me and I'm looking through night vision, if I'm using IR LED, which by the way, here's white light, a flashlight, but let me walk out there and I'll use my IR LED and see if you guys can find me. All right, so lastly, I'm just gonna turn this guy off, get him out of the way. You know, and that's kind of what it's looking like right now. Granted, I can see way more with my natural night vision, but let's see if we can get this guy. See, that's pretty decent. Turn on the IR LED. It's not bad. I mean, you get some magnification out of this guy too. I will say that these LEDs, yeah, they're quite annoying. Hopefully give you guys a little bit of a taste of what it's like looking through night vision, but honestly, it's just fun. And for 40 bucks, like, come on, go 40, 50 bucks, I guess just be fair. I'll say 50 to 60, 50 to 100, getting some night vision, that's fun. Actually, you know, here, let's go to the garage. All right, guys, I think that counts this project as done. Honestly, that was a ton of fun. It was really fun to kind of fix this guy and get my first taste of night vision. I'm gonna get this back to its rightful owner. I'm really grateful that they let me take a swing at trying to fix it. Glad we were able to fix it for them. What a fun project, right? These things are kind of cool. If you can get one of these for like 50 bucks, like that's fun. I mean, go camping with your kids, you know, old man tricks of knowing where they're hiding. If you're playing like night tag. I don't want to drag this on too long, but that is a project done. We have some of our own to play with now. I've honestly been so fun. Hope to see you on the next one, so hit that subscribe button and I'll see you there. I mean, who knows what we're gonna run into? You never know on this channel. But it'll be a fun project. Have a great day, guys. We'll see you later. Bye. Is it weird that I have night vision? No, it's kind of cool.